I've never seen it.
Are we clapping? Just you?
It's fine either way. You can do one if you'd like. All right, cut that.
It was just fun.
Delete this episode.
Everyone go home. We're done.
What I have here.
Brandie clapped. What an asshole. That's I think that's Kyle's journal for each episode. I'm just writing down my memories.
I moved and unpacked like your box of notebooks that you keep, even though you haven't looked in a long time. And I looked in them, and I didn't even recognize the stuff.
Yeah.
Not even like, oh, this wasn't funny or this was worse. But it's like, in what world did I ever talk about bees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't even begin.
Yeah.
And I think it was from like 2018.
Yeah.
It wasn't super long ago, but I was like,
you gotta hold on to those though.
there's like 80 set lists with
absolutely
like
do.
the bees. And I was like, what goes this joke?
I don't
You
know.
gotta find it. It's probably just like incredible.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
The
probably
bee,
great.
I made them disappear.
I made them disappear.
It's probably, you got to keep those notebooks that way they can publish them like that one Kurt Cobain coffee table
Right.
book.
After you
Absolutely.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that would be my nightmare if someone. Do you ever think about if someone finds your notebooks after you die? I never want anyone to read.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it.
I need
my
like a
trash.
Yeah.
bomb that goes, that's probably, I probably should clap after I say this. This should be, I need a bomb that goes off in my apartment when if I die to cover up
Yeah.
everything I have. But that's probably illegal.
I think there should be a service of some kind that like you've been,
That you get cremated
Yeah.
with your notebooks.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
That's your Tinder underneath you to light the fire. They just crumple your pages and put them underneath you. Start a little campfire with my notebooks.
exactly. I just want to be buried with my MacBook on my chest like
All of my old iPhones.
yeah, exactly.
This one's not catching on fire. There's too much ink where it's written, "This is a great joke" over and over again by yourself.
Yeah, it's their handwriting.
All of your great set Kyles in the margins are keeping this from catching on fire.
You can do it.
I have like, there was one, they're also, the last like third of every notebook is empty because I buy a new notebook somewhere and get excited
Yes.
about
I
the
do
new
that
paper.
too.
Absolutely.
No, I think maybe one of them is full.
Yeah, you fill like 12 pages and then you're like, it's time for a new moleskin.
I'm not
Yeah.
composition. I'm mole. Or you know what? I'm going to go to yellow note. Or you just, maybe the things will be different if I write on different paper.
This will be the genius.
This will be the
notebook.
genius one.
Yeah.
I wanted the yellow notepad, legal pad, to be what I use so bad because I
Yeah.
love large. I can't write small, but the pages rip out too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever, that's me revolutionizing legal notepads.
We've got notes for the listener.
Anyway.
If they're listening. Are we rolling? I don't know. Are we rolling?
Yeah,
Is
at
this-
some point.
is-
I don't know
has
what we'll
this-
be
has
having
this
in here.
begun?
Oh, okay.
We'll probably start sometime after I threaten to blow up my apartment complex.
Oh, good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
I
great.
just moved there, and they're not nice about deposits.
I mean, I do like that your landlord's a listener.
There is no world where this is listed in any of my employment records on anything I've done. The last landlord I had found my Conan set and was very excited. I
Aw.
was like, I'm telling people that you were on Conan. And then the next time I saw her, she was like, I told my nephew, and he said, "Who's Conan?" And I was like, okay, well, you didn't have to tell me this part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also
very
that's sad
sweet,
for your
though.
nephew, whoever that is. And he has a lot of back catalog.
Yeah.
Conan.
Yeah.
Google it.
He's going to be a busy boy.
Yeah, exactly. Comedian or barbarian. There's a lot out there.
He
A
was
lot of
on
Conan
Conan.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about Magic Mark here. Leah.
Mike?
Did I say Magic Mark?
Yes, you did.
Magic Mark, but that would
That's the
I'm
guy
excited.
they wrote out of Parks and Recreation.
Yes.
Magic Mark Brandanowitz. Magic Mike, which I don't know if I've seen, but we've miraculously, I don't think, ever had anyone do Magic Mike on here.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
talked a little bit about, that's what I was pulling up was the other things you had suggested for doing. Because I like to talk to people about what they haven't seen, but they didn't do.
Oh yeah.
One was James Bond. Any of the James
Any
I
of
Bond.
the
haven't
James
seen
Bond.
any of the James Bond movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
No. Honestly, I'm
I'm
impressed.
impressed. Thank you.
I'm
Thank you
impressed.
so much.
Just for the amount of them there are,
To have
Yeah.
avoided it.
that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
You figure, so we have The Matrix. Here's your list that was sent in. Okay, I zoomed in bad on Gmail here. The Matrix, which is a huge one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Goodfellas,
Big one also.
big
Yeah.
one. Requiem for a Dream.
I haven't seen it.
That's fine. I'm not going to tell someone to put themselves through it. It's good, but
no, it's good, but you only watch that one once.
Yeah, I don't think I'll watch that one.
I would say it's one of the better one-watch movies. But if anyone ever tells you they've rewatched it, that's a flag.
Big flag.
Big,
Yeah.
Red is the bad flag?
That's a scary
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Red is the bad
Red is the bad flag.
Red is the bad flag.
This is my new podcast where I figure out if red is the bad flag. From the makers of Orange is the New Black comes red is the bad flag.
We'll get there.
Me not knowing what flag is bad. Green flag?
Is it green or red? Yellow?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like these Christmas-oriented flags. I guess it's from a stoplight.
Yeah.
Or was the colors chosen for stop and go before the stoplight? Or did the stoplight make us think this?
I don't know, but this would be a great podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of this podcast is tangenting into better ideas.
Better idea. For better podcast.
Yeah. Should have done that. That's the name.
But
of
now
the
I don't
show.
know. I feel like, did the person who made the stoplight define what those colors mean?
Probably, but I think red is like, I guess to me, I'm like, oh, our brains see red, which is blood,
Which is danger.
which is bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to me, I'm like, that's always been that color.
And green is
Yeah.
leaf.
Green is life. Yeah,
Yeah,
leaves. And
green is-
to me, those two.
Yeah.
trees.
So
That's
if you see a
nature.
leaf, drive your car.
Yeah.
Right.
If you see blood, stop your
Stop.
car.
Yeah.
If you see a withering leaf, it's about to be blood.
Yeah.
That was his pitch for the
Yeah.
stoplight.
Well, I think if you see yellow, look into the sun.
Don Draper just revealing that all on a cue card.
Exactly. There definitely was like a pitch for that too. A marketing team was like, all right.
And
yeah.
he had to like pitch it in Los Angeles, and he's like, if you see yellow, legally 2 to 3 still count. 1 red. This is easy to remember, right? You guys are writing this down?
Yeah, you guys got this, right? How many people ran the lights for how long? Like, how did they get that information campaign out? You know?
Yeah.
They didn't have
that's
social
a great
media
question.
back in the day. Like, how'd you learn?
Probably a newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
A kid on the corner screaming about lights.
Yeah, getting hit by
That's what
cars.
Newsies is about, right?
Yeah, I think that's what news is about. Yeah.
But okay, so Requiem for a Dream is an example of what is your. Now I just want to talk about this. What is a one-time watch movie that you like the most? This is a very on-the-spot question
Oh
for either
God.
of you.
Wait, a movie that
Where you're like, I'm not going to watch that again, but it was great.
Yeah.
Poor Things.
Poor Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like I spent the first like 30 minutes being like, get me out of this theater. I hate this so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, this is amazing. And
Yeah.
I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
His movies give me that feel.
Yeah.
The Lobster, I love The Lobster, and then if someone's like, "Oh, we should watch it," and you're like, "You could watch it.
Yeah.
I'll go," and then we could talk about it afterwards.
I do not feel like watching that.
Yeah. The first time feels like you're like watching a story. And I think a rewatch feels like voyeurism, you know, because you like know what's coming. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not watching the story. I'm watching the bad
I just wanted to
things.
see these people
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's also so gory that I like. I'm a fainter. I like faint at the sight of blood.
Really?
And I was like,
That's why you haven't seen Magic Mike.
It's a very bloody movie. All three of them.
It is
are, actually.
Tarantino, right?
all women menstruating over a male stripper. That's what I heard.
That's what happens,
Not
right?
that far off. It's not that.
This is. I saw something about. I was reading about the fastest mile. I didn't sleep last night. I baked bread. I brought Jake some. It was a long night. I was
lovely.
up. I was reading about like the fastest mile and the 4-minute mile and how few people have gone under, and then the women's mile record is like 4:07, and they're talking about when that woman will break the 4-minute mile. And then there was went down this rabbit hole about the woman who first ran the Boston Marathon, even though it wasn't allowed, so she just sort of sprinted in. And the reasoning behind not letting women run in the Boston Marathon was they thought their uterus would fall out if they ran too far.
Yes.
And these were like doctors that were like, it's impossible to test because we're not going to let them. But
Yeah.
your uterus would fall out if you ran. Oh, and they were like, oh, it's like 11 miles is when it'll happen. We've figured out the number.
That's why I
so
don't
insane.
exercise.
Yeah. No, yeah. You got to keep that ute in
Gotta
place.
keep it in place.
Yeah,
It is the plot to a couple James Bond movies.
Yeah,
it's how he gets
absolutely.
away from a couple of the villains is he hits 11 and a half miles, and it's just a totally different movie.
I like your list of movies you haven't seen is really good because it tells me that you have not dated any toxic men that imposed.
It really looks,
Yes.
That's not true.
Well, that are movie fans. That are movie fans at least.
It
It's
looks like you walked
have to
into a
see the
dorm
movie.
and shook your head no and left the dorm.
Yeah, it's a lot of poster movies.
You didn't make your way all the way to the Fight Club poster because you turned the other direction and left the room.
I love that is your takeaway. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Although The Matrix is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I do want to see The Matrix.
If there's one to visit, it holds up really well. I would say it is better now
Yeah.
than even when it came out.
I think it's
Really?
prescient in interesting ways to
And
watch it.
although
now
it
in the
is,
world.
Yeah.
has been co-opted by the wrong side of society
Yes.
in like the red pill culture, which they seem to not understand at all what the directors were trying to say.
They really don't.
Well, of course. I mean, they don't understand much.
No, this would be
No.
the first time I think art had been misinterpreted for a bad movement.
I remember a insomnia hole I went down once was looking up red pill tattoos, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
Were you thinking of getting one?
No. I just was like, well, who's an idiot?
It was red pill tattoo cover-ups, but then it was
It's a lot of people have the pills in their hands. A lot. Like a lot.
wait, they tattoo the pills.
Tattoo the
Right
pills.
on there.
A lot of people.
What
have the
if the
pills
guy,
tattooed.
the monster
my
from
God.
Pan's Labyrinth puts his hands up to his eyes and it's one pill on each hand? It's a blue pill and a red pill on his hand. I mean, he's a very much. There wouldn't even be a red pill because he's eaten it
No,
already.
exactly. No, it's that was the
That's
movie.
such a. I would not. That's such a horrible tattoo.
Yeah,
That's
horrible.
It's also funny to
horrible
hold your
tattoo.
hand out to someone and. Please,
Wait.
sir, can I get one in my hand?
yeah.
They just tattoo your hand at work.
What a nightmare.
What a nightmare.
A lot of people have gotten that done.
That's what a world.
Now, how would you cover
What
that
a
up,
world.
though?
Gloves.
Stigmata.
Yeah.
Gloves.
Fingerless gloves.
Fingerless gloves
That's a big
all the time.
fingerless gloves
Yeah.
energy.
Well,
Yeah.
you're still gonna see their whatever they've redone Thug Life
Right.
on their
Yes.
knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe they have fingers tattooed, so they can wear fingerless gloves and you can't tell
There you
because it's
go.
full fingered.
Just the
There you go.
tips. Just the tips. They got just the tips done.
Just the tip
Just
the
across
tip.
their knuckles.
Yep.
Okay, so that's why The Matrix is good. This is what we do. We break down movies. We let you know why they're good. We're the first podcast that talks about movies and why they're good. This is.
It's revolutionary.
Somebody needed
I think
to.
that's one of the Matrix movies.
Yeah. It is.
We're reloaded, Barry. We like
It's an 11 a.m.
albino twins with dreadlocks. That was such a leap between the first and the second movies.
Yeah. They really put some crazy characters in the second one in a way that you're like, oh.
Wait, are you talking
The
about
Matrix.
The Matrix.
It could have been Magic Mike, albino
Yeah, yeah.
twins with dreadlocks.
There are
That's
some
maybe gonna
crazy
be- yeah.
some crazy characters that enter in the second Magic Mike part of the
Yeah,
franchise.
let's use this as an
Really?
opportunity
Yeah.
to talk about Magic Mike.
Yes.
Now that we've said it, and I don't want to derail us back to not talking about it.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is we do the script,
Yes.
and then we can sort of break down what was right, what wasn't right.
Excellent.
Okay, good.
And we have Brandie here as a Magic Mike expert.
Love it.
We also found out Jake is a Magic Mike expert.
We've
who
got some experts in the house.
Yeah.
I believe he said he
just excited
watched
for you
it
to
all
see it.
over and
I'm
over again as
so
his
excited
comfort
to see
movie
it.
for a while. Magic Mike 2.
Magic Mike 2 is a comfort movie. It's truly, yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I've seen it a lot.
Here's some scripts.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm
so
nervous.
excited.
I hope that I
It's going to be amazing.
honor it.
What would you like to preface going in? I guess sort of like, what is your, is there anything at all? Did you know anything about it?
Well, I know that it's a movie about a male stripper
Okay.
who throws women around in a really sexy way.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right. Cast it however you'd like.
Yeah.
We'll have you do the exposition.
Okay. Let's see.
Already loving the character names.
Yep.
So
Already. Oh my God. I
The
got to stop
setting is
reading ahead.
perfect already. So exciting.
okay, so there's so I'm just gonna Kyle, do you want to read Mustang,
Oh, I'd love to.
Luco, and Mikey? That is very gendered.
Love it.
And Brandie, do you want to read? Can I read a part two?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
do I
As
just
many
read
as you
stage
like.
right?
You can
Okay.
read as many parts as you like.
Okay, I'll do Tara. Do you want to do Bride and Susan?
Great.
And then I think that is
Great.
it.
If
Oh,
anyone-
I'll do Jack.
Um,
Also,
Great.
okay.
Awesome.
Are you ready?
Okay, I just saw who Jack. I shouldn't have read ahead.
Don't.
I got too
it's
excited.
A spoiler.
I know, I got excited too. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Interior, Mr. Peener's night. It's Saturday night at Mr. Peener's.
Perfect sentence. Tattoo that on my hand.
You cover up your blue pill with. Can you make the P from the blue
Just
pill?
make that Mr. Peener's.
It's Saturday
I'm gonna
night,
have that
Mr.
tattooed on my
Peener's.
lower back.
Yes.
It's Saturday night at Mr. Peener's, an all-male strip club that's seen better days. A few groups of depressed-looking ladies sit scattered about the showroom, sipping grenadine-colored cocktails out of penis straws. On stage, Mustang Dickie humps the floor half-heartedly to Shania Twain's 90s masterpiece, Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Tara, 60s, heavy eye makeup and skin baked by decades of tanning beds, sits alone next to the stage, throwing loose coins at Mustang Dickie, who dodges it as best he can, but then scurries to scoop it up. She hits him in the face with a loose quarter.
Ow! Fuck!
Bingo! In one booth, a woman with a sash that says "Bride Bitch" cries,
This is so sad. I don't even want to get married anymore.
"We couldn't afford Chippendales, Laura." Luco, 5'2", with a six-pack and an air of desperation, approaches a table of three middle-aged women, all with asymmetric bobs and chunky highlights.
Hey, can I offer you a lap dance, gorgeous?
How much?
For a pretty lady like you, I'll do it for 45.
I'll give you 3.
He shrugs and takes her hand, leading her to a back room. She's going to get gonorrhea back there. She's already got it. Interior, Mr. Peener's, the infamous back room, continuous. Luco leads Susan into the infamous back room, which is really just a big custodian closet. It's dark, but in the corner you can make out a shadowy figure sitting on an overturned bucket, playing with cards.
Who's that?
Oh, don't mind him. That's just the janitor, Mikey.
What's he doing sitting in the corner like a creep?
He's on his break. He likes to practice magic on his breaks.
Huh?
It's not magic. It's tarot. Right. Sorry, Mikey. Hey, when you get a sec, one of the ladies from Table 8 clogged up the toilet real bad.
Susan grimaces.
I think maybe the milk in her White Russian was expired or something.
Mikey sighs, grabs a mop, and shuffles out. Susan watches him go, intrigued. Luco motions to the bucket Mikey has just vacated.
My queen?
Susan sits. Luco approaches and climbs up on her like a little koala. He starts writhing his body against hers, getting much more pleasure out of it than she is.
Do you have a mint or something? Your breath is a little...
Oh, geez. I had a couple White Russians earlier.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back out.
Oh, please, let me finish.
Really good.
Thank you.
Susan is startled.
I have a really good move. I've been working out for the end.
Fine, but make it quick. I have a PTA meeting in the morning.
Luca moves seductively towards Susan, hands on his head, swiveling his hips like a perverted hula hooper.
Hey, you like this, baby?
Susan is confused. Luca then gets down on all fours and starts doing some weird bucking thing.
Here's a good move. Watch.
He moves to do a handstand, but it doesn't work, and he falls, kicking over the makeshift bucket. Tarot cards fly everywhere. Luca runs out, humiliated. Susan watches as a card falls into her lap. The magician.
Ooh,
She studies it.
this is very cinematic. I love it. Perfect. Nailed it. The magician.
Good.
Yeah.
There it is, yeah. Interior, Mr. Peener's showroom.
Every time. Perfect.
It's like I forgot the name of it, and I get to hear it again for the first time.
It's the most important name. Susan bursts out of the custodian closet into the showroom. She spots Mikey from across the room, mopping up some puke in the corner. From deep within her loins, she shouts,
Magic Mike.
The music stops abruptly. Mr. Peeners falls silent, the only sound one of Tara's lone nickels hitting the floor of the stage. All heads turn. Even the sad bride stops crying. Mikey turns, slowly.
How much for a tarot reading?
45?
I'll give you 800 if you throw in a dance.
Mikey shrugs.
Sure. Mikey can't dance. He's just a janitor.
Shut the fuck up, little guy. She throws a roll of quarters at him. He goes down. From the back of the club, a man, 70s, grizzled, emerges from a door. It's the club owner, Jack Pinaretti, a.k.a. Mr. Peeners himself. He takes in the scene. Mikey walks on stage. Suddenly, the energy at Mr. Peeners shifts. The lights change to a sexy red LED. The women all sit up, alert. Mikey stands, head down in the darkness, wearing his Dickies coveralls janitor suit, holding a plunger. He gives a slight nod and a spotlight appears. Jules, You Were Meant for Me plays. The women gasp. They love this song. He looks up, pulls off his glasses, throws them to Tara, who catches them. He starts to slowly unbutton his coveralls, revealing a ripped Adonis bod. He grabs the pole. Do strip clubs have poles? I don't know if they do. And begins to writhe his body against it. He turns and points to Susan, motioning for her to come to stage. Lydia and Holly blush. She sits on a chair. He moves toward her. From his tiny Speedo, he pulls out a tarot card and hands it to her. She looks down at it and then looks back at him.
The Empress.
Mikey nods and straddles her.
What does it mean?
Fruitfulness. Fertility. Mother.
He picks her up and spins her around like a rag doll, doing a crazy standing 69 type thing. The crowd goes wild. Susan screams in delight. The room is suddenly full of screaming women, throwing dollar bills at the stage, having the night of their lives. Magic Mike brings the ladies up one by one, giving them tarot card readings while dry humping them. Jack Peeners stands in the back, taking it all in, and a small smile spreads across his face. Mr. Peeners is back.
Yes.
Thank you. Excellent reading.
Oh, thank you. You captured the energy of the Magic Mike movies.
Did I?
Honestly,
Wow.
It's not so far
energetically
off.
not too far off.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to talk Magic Mike. Yeah, wow. Every time you said Mr. Peeners,
Yes.
it was like those TikTok videos I see where people who can't hear get cochlear implants.
Yes.
I got happy. I got that happy every single time. I was like, oh, I forgot about this. This is how this can be.
Yeah, a baby with glasses. It's just,
Yeah, it was a baby seeing its mom with glasses for the first time. Or when they're like, this
Just eyes.
guy's never seen the color yellow, and we
Just
gave him these
eyes
sunglasses.
brimming with emotion.
That's exactly what it was.
Wow.
I was like, this is what Pleasantville was trying to do.
yeah, absolutely. You nailed it.
Oh my God. Wow. What a compliment.
Mr. Peeners. Oh my God. Would also be a good comedy club name.
It would be. I mean, it's not so far off from
It's not.
Yeah, it's
Many
it's-
of them.
It's less of a pun than a lot of comedy club names.
Yeah.
No.
That'll just be like the Dr. Grinny's Laugh Fuckville.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I've never even heard of this
Mr.
town.
Chuckle fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
I generally tell people if they're like, where's there good comedy in my town? You know, people saying
Yeah.
something online. I'm like, if there's multiple places to go, choose the one that sounds more like a location than
Yes.
an attempt to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You
if
know?
they're like, this is comedy on the street, you're like, that one you got a good chance.
That
Yes.
one's probably
Yeah.
fine.
Uncle Sock and Boppers. Not gonna be. Not
Let's
gonna
not
do
drag
it for
sock
me.
and bobbers through this hand here.
Daddy's
They're more fun than a
Yeah.
pillow fight.
Daddy's Laugh Fish Shack or something.
Yeah. Ooh, Daddy's Laugh Shack. Ooh.
That's definitely in Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the whole state of Florida, all of them will just be some
Should
various
just be
sort
called
of
Daddy's Fish Shack.
Daddy's Fish Shack. We're a comedy club. It's mostly this Jimmy Buffett cover band that threatens to quit. But when they do take the night off, we book a comedian who we saw on Instagram Reels 4 times.
Come for the laughs, stay for the fish.
Something
for the
something
cod.
fishy's amuck. It like says in way too big of letters on the stage.
yeah.
Can't even get it all in your one shot. It's one of the, what do you do? Why? Okay, moving on. Like those sort of places.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like you nailed this. I'm sorry I didn't bring as much Channing Tatum to Mikey. Is he Mike?
Yes, he's Mike. Yeah, the titular Magic Mike is
I did.
Channing
Yeah,
Tatum.
I know that I knew this, but when I was writing it, I wasn't thinking that was Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
But now that you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
I missed it when I was going through the read. Sometimes I confuse Channing Tatum. I call Tom Hardy serious Channing Tatum. I think they look like he's like a much more, or like if I tried to draw Channing Tatum.
They're both
I'm
golden
not super
retriever
good at drawing.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum's like, he's actually so funny. The
Yes.
Jump Street movies, he's very funny in those.
Super funny. He's very self-effacing. What's that movie where plays a dog man on rollerblades? Have you guys seen that one? That's real.
Reno
No, but
911?
No,
That's Nick Swartz.
That's on the list now.
yeah.
A dog, like an
dog
actual
man on
dog.
rollerblades?
I need to know what we mean and what these words
No,
mean.
he plays a man that is like a part canine, and he's on
Oh, you don't
rollerblades.
just mean like a
Jupiter
golden retriever
Jupiter
boyfriend.
Ascending, I think, is what it's called.
I'm sorry. I've heard all the words you've said, but never in this order.
Nothing is clicking in.
I think
Channing Tatum is a half dog in rollerblades in Jupiter Ascending. Yes. This is why AI is coming for the jobs.
That's a real movie.
Leah, have you ever heard of any of this?
No, never.
I'm starting to wonder if I've heard of rollerblades.
I think it's Mia Kunis is the star, the lady. Isn't it?
From the video in front of the waterfall that she took during COVID with Ashton Kutcher. That's what I try and say I know her from. Is the video where they tried to tell us COVID was fine,
video?
Or the apology video, and then everyone found on Google Earth it was in front of their second pool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jupiter Ascending was made by the Wachowskis, who made The Matrix.
Jupiter Ascending was?
Seriously?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
I think that we are in the Matrix right now.
Right. That's why we don't know about their other
Yeah.
work.
Have you seen it? It's great.
It's
Is it-
great.
I've never seen it.
Is it? What's the genre?
Oh, sci-fi.
Where the half dog man on rollerblades is on Jupiter?
It's like maybe it's a horror film.
Is this like an A24 movie? Is this a Midsummer Director's Cut? I don't know.
Is this like a straight drama?
Is this one of those dramas that wins comedy awards?
Oh man, I can't. I don't know.
It made me think though of that rollerblade movie from the 80s.
Brink?
It takes place. I know it because it takes place in Cincinnati, where I grew up. Where he he rollerblades down like the devil. It's called like the devil's.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's crazy. I'm like, it's kind of yellow.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the name.
Yeah,
of the movie.
anyways.
I do remember Brink as well,
Yeah.
which was when rollerblading, like the tail end of rollerblading, was a Disney.
Yeah. Disney
Rollerblading
movie.
movies need to come back.
Would love it.
I would love that. Rollerblading did. It had a moment there.
Yeah.
Skating and
Yeah, yeah.
rollerblading.
Absolutely.
I went roller skating at a rink for a birthday.
The Glendale one? Moonlight?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that place
yeah.
is fun.
It is. I felt 110 years old.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it would be fun to bring a Polaroid camera.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
And they were like, these aren't allowed in here. And I was like, why can't I have Polaroid cameras? And they're like, we just can't have people taking pictures they leave with. And I was like, this all feels very uncomfortable. And then I didn't like it the more I thought about it.
No, that's
Where
weird.
it's like, what's happening with Polaroid cameras here? People are taking, based on watching Law and Order SVU,
Yeah.
I'm making assumptions about the Polaroid
But
photos.
you could have your phone to take pictures with.
I think it's because of tracking and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Once again, it was based on Law and
my
Order
God.
SVU.
Whoa.
I always feel like in roller rink, you go in and there's always it always feels like there's so many like good roller skaters, but it also seems like they're like all on meth.
Yes.
Like
Yeah. You wonder, it's sort of like anytime you go to it's like a karaoke. Do you ever go to a karaoke place and you're like, does everyone here know each other but arrive alone?
yeah.
I was a
Yeah.
karaoke host for 3 years. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That
So there's
energy is
people that-
real.
Yeah.
Who they
Yeah.
sing maybe the same songs at most of the times they go. And
We had a guy that would come every single week, and he would request Gorillas, the Clint Eastwood song, and then he would go,
That's
would
so
everybody
funny.
like to hear the real song or a freestyle? And then no one,
I'll freestyle this Gorillaz song.
no one would answer him, and he would go, freestyle.
Freestyle it is.
You should have accidentally played that song where the guy just goes tequila, where there's just one word 4 minutes in, and let him freestyle over that beat.
It was never a freestyle. It was always the same
Yeah,
rap.
that's how I always
so
feel.
you would
wrote his-
you would play the karaoke track and he would just
Yep, do
he
his
would just
own
sing it.
Do his
He would
own
say
rap
he was
over
gonna
it.
free. Oh, he He had written a different rap
Yes.
he would do every time as the freestyle.
But he would say it was a
It was
freestyle. Yes, it was written. And only I knew
Do you
because I was
remember-
there every week.
Do you remember any of the lyrics?
It was all about Eagle Rock because he was like from there.
was this at All Star Lanes?
Yeah.
Oh.
Big All Star Lanes.
There was the guy
energy.
who would always sing "Friends in Low Places" at All Star Lanes, and that
Oh,
would always bring it
God.
because he would sit at the far end of the bar,
Yep.
kind of alone all night, and come up, and that would crush.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
that's a banger.
We also had a guy that would always sing "Don't Fear the Reaper." He was the second to last song every week. Sorry, I can tell a lot of karaoke stories. His name was Johnny Blue because he was a houseless man that lived in his van, and he would go to all the bars and get their cans at the end of the night, and he wore blue gloves when he did it. But then he would come to All Star Lanes last 5 minutes before close, hand me $20 and say, "Don't fear the Reaper," and then he would sing that, and that's how the night ended.
What if he
every
didn't
time.
want to sing it or have you play it? He was just giving you advice.
Yeah.
pull off the blue gloves, and he was just Johnny?
At least it's
Don't fear
not
the
like
Reaper.
don't like Bohemian Rhapsody or one of the kind of
yeah.
don't do's at karaoke. At least it's
Yeah.
Don't Fear the Reaper, and everyone has fun with the cowbell thing. I bet.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
Totally.
he killed it too. He was fucking awesome.
What but that is how it feels at the
Yes.
skating. There's like
Yes.
people going really fast.
Yeah.
Their skates don't look the same.
They're personal skates. They
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
rent them. They have them.
Yeah.
And they're very, very good at it. They can skate backwards and all
Yeah.
that.
They're
Yeah,
going
it's pretty
weaving
crazy.
in and out of everyone without knocking anyone over. I can go kind of fast on roller skates. I grew up by a lake,
Impressive.
and so I used to ice skate on it. But stopping is different, and also I'm larger and out of shape than I was then. So I can go around fast, and then I just have to run into a wall to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But felt very old
Yeah.
roller
Yeah.
skating. It is nice that it's cool though. But you could tell it's funny to see clicks.
Yes.
It's funny that the music is the same that it's always been.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a Barbie Girl and like pop songs from late 70s through 1990 are still
Yeah.
the songs.
It's like a time capsule. It's
Yeah.
really
It's really
nostalgic to walk
How
in.
did
real
we-
pre 9/11 world.
Yeah.
The roller
Yeah.
rink.
yeah.
I mean,
That is
Except
what it
you're not
feels
allowed
like.
to have Polaroids anymore.
Yeah.
It's very post 9/11.
Yeah, thanks,
yeah.
Obama.
we can't surveil these Polaroids.
The Patriot Act means no more Polaroid cameras. I mean, that is how they caught Bin Laden. He went to a roller rink with a digital camera.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
That
right.
was
That's
the problem.
That's the big cover
and he
up.
stood out
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he's 6'6".
Yeah.
What Jupiter Ascending? I'm like, how the f- did we start talking about
Sorry.
roller skates? What is Jupiter? I want to know.
Okay, Jupiter Ascending. I'm trying to remember exactly how this goes. Is it Mila Kunis is the girl? Or it's like one
I
of
think so.
yeah, it's like
I
one of
literally
his
have a
actresses
computer in
like
front of
that.
me closed.
Doesn't matter.
Like, there's no way to know.
So she's like, her family just doesn't respect her. She lives in New York. She lives with her whole family in New York or whatever. And then in this faraway galaxy, it turns out that she is actually a secret queen. Like she but she fell to Earth or whatever. And one of the princes needs to kill her because she's actually the next in line to ascend.
Real Game of Thrones
True.
situation here.
Yeah, but she
Yeah.
didn't know about any of this. But then fucking Channing Tatum Dog Man.
Is he the bad guy?
No, he comes down to save her.
He's the-
bodyguard.
He's the half dog roller skating bodyguard.
Yeah.
And it's Jupiter.
Yeah.
Or is it from one of the moons of Jupiter or something?
It's like Jupiter's like, it's like
Jupitish.
up in there. Yeah.
Up in there. Is that song in the movie?
Up in her.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to Jupiter Ascending.
It should be.
Do they fall in love?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's nice.
And they
That's
like
nice.
and
I hope you watch that instead of The
I
Matrix
think
or
I'm
any
gonna
of these
watch
movies on your
that.
list. You get very into Jupiter
I'm
Ascending.
gonna get that tattooed.
Can I get the dog pill?
Can I get the dog man in rollerblades?
Get my whole bottom half
Yeah.
full on dog leg tattoos.
it's like Channing Tatum at his most Channing Tatum because he's also like he's loyal like a dog. Like he really brings like the good traits of a dog to the performance.
Is it a
I
serious
bet he
movie?
does.
No, I mean but
Is it meant to be
It's like
taken
campy.
seriously?
campy?
Yeah.
Campy is the right word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very campy. It's really good though.
Interesting.
Everybody should watch Jupiter Ascending.
I still don't. This could
I
be
will.
like you pretending.
I know. It
And I
feels
would
like
be
Yeah,
like,
like
this
you're
just as
fucking with
much as,
us.
like,
it feels like how like Vin Diesel made his witch hunter movies as like his true passion project with his fast like
I've never even heard of these witch hunter movies.
man. I'm just
So no, you're using more once
Got some
again.
deep cuts.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like you've had really good exes.
that's not
You
true.
go over to your. I went into this guy's dorm. He had a Jupiter Ascending fan art framed, and he had a series of the graphic novel recreations of Vin Diesel's vampire hunting movies were actually leather bound on his bookshelf instead of Infinite Jest.
He used all of his cachet from the Fast movies to make the last Witch Hunter movies, which are about his D&D character.
That rules.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Channing Tatum's the biggest nerd.
Vin Diesel. He is
biggest nerd
a
in the
huge
world.
D&D guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did know this.
Yeah. The Witch Hunter movies are
The
his
Rock
D&D
really
character.
tried to turn us all against him.
Hate The Rock.
There was like time where The Rock was like,
there beef?
they were like fighting on
Yes.
set, but The Rock is so good at PR, and Vin Diesel never does anything. So it was all like The Rock refuses to work because Vin Diesel is unprofessional, and now time has showed that The Rock was just kind of like hard to be around and very demanding.
And Vin Diesel was just trying to play D&D.
Vin
Yeah,
Diesel's best
he's
friend
like-
just died, and he's trying to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
You're trying to replace his best friend in a movie franchise.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Hate The Rock. I think that'll be the second podcast I've been on in a row where I am anti-Rock.
Oh, really?
Crazy part is
Yeah.
he might listen.
Good.
I think he's one of those guys, like, if people just tweet like The Rock is mean, he'll like be like, what do you
course.
mean?
He responds.
He searches his name, and his name is The Rock, which means he's reading a lot just to find
Right.
the
There's a Sean Connery
criticism.
A
movie he hates.
lot about geology.
Anyways, I think we could put a button on Magic Mike. Oh no, because why is the second one so good? I'm sorry, now I'm like fascinated. Remember, these two have both been talking about how the second one is art.
But you haven't seen
I haven't seen the second one. I think I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
The second one, so the first one is like Mike is like a stripper that's been around for a while, and then there's like a young rookie that he kind of shows the ropes to, and then whether or not the stuff happens with that. But the second one, and also Matthew McConaughey is like the head guy of the club.
In the first one?
In the
He's
first
Mr.
one.
Peeners?
He's Mr. Peeners. He basically is Mr. Peeners. Matthew McConaughey.
Man, if you'd known that for that one line at the end,
I would have read it.
that's
very
what he likes
differently.
about Mr. Peeners.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's McConaughey is Mr. Peeners, and then there's the rest of the cast.
And this
of
was like McConaissance
Yes.
was on when this movie came out. Like just
Okay.
that True Detective had
When
come
he's-
out.
He's
This was
fine in this movie.
2014,
Yeah.
15, 16, somewhere
okay.
there.
Yeah, it's great.
The first one.
That's the first one. The second one, it's the rest of the cast. So there's also a love interest in the first one that Magic Mike is like, all right, I'm leaving stripper behind. I've been saving up all this money because I want to be a carpenter. I want to start my business for real. Him and his girl. I'm spoiling things a little bit. It doesn't matter. Plots don't matter in any of this.
It's not about that.
It's not about
Whose
the
Mike
plot.
is it
It's
anyway?
about the
It's about the
friends.
pecs.
Similarly
The
to
friends.
the Fast movies, Magic Mike universe is also about family. It's like a similar energy. I just like movies that are about family.
So is this his work family that becomes his
Yes.
real family?
Yeah. So
Because
this-
his real family is dysfunctional or not around.
We never meet them. We don't know. We don't know Mike's past, but he's been this stripper, and that's great. In the second movie, the cast of the first one, they come to find him, and they're like, yo, Dallas, who is the McConaughey's name in the first movie, he took the kid to Europe, and he left us, and we're all old strippers are retiring. We're going to the Outer Banks for this stripper convention for one last ride. We're going out in a waterfall of a tsunami of dollar bills. So they're like, come on, road trip with us, guys.
They go take him out
One
of
more
his
And he's a carpenter now.
carpentry
He's a carpenter, yeah.
profession.
Okay.
Yeah, because running a business is hard.
Imagine if
Yeah.
at the end of Good Will Hunting,
Yeah.
they made a second one and Ben Affleck drove out to Berkeley or whatever and was like, hey, Matt Damon, we're building one more building. Leave your job. Leave your wife. We're going to go build an apartment complex in Southie. One last union gig.
I mean, that's a fun movie. If
I
you
would
do it
actually
right,
watch that.
if you do it
I
right.
talked myself into it.
100%. Yeah, you pitched it.
I would just like to see Ben Affleck smile one more time, if possible, before he's done.
I know.
Oh,
Poor
how
guy.
sad.
This guy, I don't know what paparazzi hates him and spends so much time watching him spill coffee, trying to get it in his house
it's
every
J-Lo.
day.
It's actual J-Lo.
J-Lo's the photographer.
Probably.
Just trolling him.
Yeah, I could see her like hiring someone like Philip Seymour Hoffman and Along Came Polly, like hired those people to
Yes.
film an E! True Hollywood Story on him.
100%.
For sure what's happening. So the second one is just a buddy movie of these guys going on a...
Is there any other notable people?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't this is crazy? Kevin Nash, the wrestler,
Yeah.
I think, is in the second one.
Kevin Nash
He's an
is...
old wrestler from the 90s.
Yeah, Tarzan is his name.
He's
great.
because he's like 6'11".
Yeah.
Who's on the road trip? How many characters? 4?
5 or
Okay.
6. So
In
it's,
one vehicle.
It's an ice cream truck.
Incredible.
But they're making
Incredible.
healthy probiotic
Like I thought I was
going to
have a gotcha question. It's like, I got it. There's no way they all fit in one car. These are large men.
Those beefy strippers? No way.
This isn't Road Trip with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, it's a whole big thing. They make protein smoothies on the ice cream truck.
In the ice cream truck?
Yeah.
This movie sounds fucking awesome.
It's awesome.
Is it sexy?
Yes.
I never really got to any part where there's like any of the reason anyone likes it.
Yes, but it's like it is a I get serious. It's like genuinely like a celebration of like the straight woman's like point of view in a movie where it's like and these guys are also very like we just want to like make women feel good with like it's about bringing out your inner confidence is like the stripping that they're trying to do basically. It's like yeah, it's really great.
I love that.
It's really really great.
Where's the stripper convention?
The Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Okay, I was just picturing the Ozarks.
Yeah, Elizabeth Banks is in it.
She's Mrs. Outer.
yes, she is Mrs. Outer.
Please, Outer is my father. Call me Mrs. Banks.
Call me Mrs.
yes, exactly. Jada Pinkett Smith is in the second one.
Okay.
There's a cameo I don't want to spoil. Who's great.
It's so funny to come this far and be like, don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But that's okay. If it's that
I'm
important of
watching
a
it
cameo.
tonight.
Magic Mike 2. Do we need to see the first one?
I think you can just watch the second
I'm
one.
just going to watch 2.
I think you
Yeah,
can
I think you can just jump in on the second one.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch the first.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
fine.
Good.
Read a Wikipedia page if you really want to know.
No,
Doesn't matter.
I think I got it.
Yeah.
Carpenter wants to be carpenter.
Yeah,
It's fun that he has Jesus' profession.
Yeah, I mean,
And they remove him from being Christ so he can go to the Outer Banks in North Carolina and strip for Jada Pinkett Smith.
what's his name?
Which is my Easter.
Don Glover's in it. Don Glover's in it. There's a bunch of people.
As a stripper?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then the third one sort of goes off the rails.
The third,
And the third one's where the plot is lost?
yeah. The third one is like Selma Hayek. So it's Channing Tatum and Selma Hayek is like this love story in the third one. And she is like a French billionaire's loveless wife. They hate each other, but she's like a philanthropist or whatever, but she hasn't felt like a woman in years because of this relationship she's in. She meets Mike. He's like a caterer at this point.
He's a
What happened to
caterer.
Carpentry?
You gotta watch. I'm not spoiling.
Okay.
I'm not spoiling that.
Okay.
He's like a caterer in Miami or something. And like she's like, what's your whole deal? And then somebody like has a TikTok of him and is like, he's a fucking stripper. Like one of her like people is like,
Okay.
he stripped at my party at this thing like years ago. And she's like, can you still do it? And she gives him like 20 grand for like one last strip basically. It's like a 15-minute scene and it's fucking insane. It's awesome.
Is that one called XXL? Or Magic
No.
Mike XL? Or is that the second one?
That's the second one.
Okay. Is the third one just called 3?
I think it might just be Magic Mike.
So they're like
There's some other name.
they're like
there,
following the Fast and Furious model of the numbers quit mattering at some point.
Yeah, you're
but
just.
they are similar in a lot of ways. Like they have a similar vibe. It's
I hope
very
eventually
funny.
he has to infiltrate the police.
They do dress up like cops in the first movie at
Okay.
one point.
I don't know if that's considered infiltrating the police, the reason they dressed up as the cops in the first movie.
Yeah.
The same. Yeah.
Also, there's a live show
Incredible.
in Las Vegas.
And
that's
you've
phenomenal.
seen the
And you've
live
seen the
show?
live show.
I've been a lot. Yeah.
Now, what movie is the canon for the live show? I don't know why I have so many questions about Magic Mike, but I think your
Well,
passion for it is
yeah.
infectious.
it's kind of a separate, like it's in the same world because it's like it opens making fun of like the way that people think that male strip shows are just like a fucking guy with a hose and he's a fireman, blah blah blah. But there's like the host of the whole thing. It's kind of a whole show. The host is like a woman that gets pulled out of the crowd basically, and she's like, I'm gonna make the strip club show that I want. And then it's like, here's a musician that's got a good job and he's wearing a suit, and it's just like all these, it's funny. It's like it was written by a comedian. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Amazing.
really funny show, and it's just like all these different strip numbers that are great. There's this, that are awesome, but it's also very like everybody that works the live show in Las Vegas has to take a consent course before they can like work at any level of the entire production.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's like they come into the crowd. You get hot pink $1 bills with a unicorn on them instead of George Washington,
Okay.
and that's what you get to just throw. So there's just like thousands of dollars in the air at all times.
And do the
so
performers
fun.
interact with the audience? How do they?
Oh, yeah, they
How
come
do
out.
they manage that like consent?
They come out. They look. They make eye. They are feeling you out to see like are you cool?
Is it like those Brazilian
Yeah.
steakhouses where you flip the sign from green to red if you want more food?
It kind of has that energy to it. Yeah.
So that way they know whether they can
That way
interact
they know.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they definitely like they come up, they'll kind of like just like check like, all right, cool, not into it, great, on to the next person. And there's like, it's just like a big room theater in the round experience. It's
So fun.
really fun.
That sounds incredible.
yeah,
wanna go.
it's awesome.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Honestly, I would go with you guys tonight. That'd be awesome.
Vegas is close.
take a road
Not as
trip.
close as movies make it seem, but close.
For the,
movies are frequently like people will go to Vegas from LA for an hour and come back.
Yeah,
which
no,
I guess
right.
you could do, but there's a lot of miserable downtime.
For
Yeah.
my podcast, Lady to Lady, we every 100 episodes we have French Stewart on as our guest, and we are taking him to Magic Mike for our 600th episode. That's coming up soon.
That's incredible.
yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm really excited.
Oh wow!
Oh my
Wow.
God.
It's gonna be
I
real.
hope Mr. Peeners is there.
I hope so too.
It's French Stewart. French Stewart is Mr. Peters.
That is such a Mr. Peeners. Wow, that would be great casting. I think he would be down for
He'd
it.
be great at it.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if I see this as a union thing. No.
Ouch.
Just the length.
The leg, yeah.
That's me casting Magic Mike.
Yeah. I mean, there was a character named Big Dick Richie.
There has to be.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think you have to have some. You got to talk about penises.
Of course. Yeah. That's
Well,
great. Anyway, big
all
fan.
right.
All of them. Go see them.
would you say 2, 1, 3 would be your rankings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt. 2, 1, 3. I
2,
think
1, 3.
2 stands on its own as like a perfect movie
Okay.
that like is a really good feel good movie. Like I've seen that movie a lot.
This is incredible. I'm glad I asked you to come on here.
This was perfect.
I was like, I'll ask Brandie.
Did you know that you didn't know Brandie was an
I
expert?
had no idea. Generally, what I do is I see people who mutually follow each other on socials to then ask amongst that group of people, so there's some familiarity, you know. But that was it.
I mean, that's amazing.
We nailed it.
We nailed it.
I'm so glad we follow each other.
Um,
I know.
We're going to take one more quick break, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. A couple of quick games, and then we're going to get out of here. Leah, because it's your first time on the podcast, we're going to do a quick game we have. No music for this one. This is just a first-time guest where the other person tries to guess what the first-time guest's answers are going to be. So think of this like the Newlywed Game a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question, and then Brandie's going to have to guess what your answer is before you answer the question.
Okay.
They're simple questions. It's a very quick game. This description, it's like a children's book. The description takes much longer than the actual content itself.
Okay.
First question is going to be, what is your favorite movie?
Okay. Wait, hold on. I have to think.
Now Brandie will think of it. Brandie will guess,
Okay.
and then you can. I will even say, what is your favorite movie? Because you could have more than one.
Not like
it's
the,
kind of hard
but
to be
like
like
a
a
big- a top
definitive
movie.
one.
A
but
top
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I got it in my head.
What Hot American Summer?
Good pick.
Okay.
Clueless.
Oh,
Okay.
That was
Same world?
in the up there too.
Yeah.
Same
yeah,
world.
Yeah.
The Paul Rudd throws a fit cinematic universe.
Yeah, exactly.
What is a movie franchise that you really love? So I would say if there's 2 or more of them, I'll call it a franchise or toys.
Or toy.
There's toys. Yeah,
Movie
we'll say
franchise.
2 or more of them.
Hold on. I got to think about this. I don't know if I.
It's not James Bond. It's not the Matrix.
It's- yeah,
It's not the Magic Mike movies. It's not the Fast movies.
Yeah, we've gone through so many.
Probably not Star Wars. Probably not Marvel.
I don't know if I like any franchise.
I know. I know. I was
Chili's?
TGI Fridays.
It could be none. It could be none. I can't. I'm trying to think of more franchises.
Like, what are franchises that aren't like fucking superheroes?
Yeah.
Superheroes have sort of ruined trying to come up with what these are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other franchises.
I just Googled movies.
Okay,
So
what
we're having
came
fun
up?
over here. All right, I'll throw some out, and then you can
Yeah.
pluck
Okay,
one out of
okay.
this if you
Okay,
want.
thank you.
That we haven't mentioned. There's Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jurassic Park, Hunger Games. I'm doing ones Back to the Future, Godfather, Planet of the Apes, Despicable Me, Twilight, Indiana Jones, Avatar. There's so many more that we hadn't even
Wow.
got to.
Yeah.
And then
gonna
kind of the
say-
ones we've named. Are they going to guess any of these or none of these?
If any, like Back to the Future is maybe
Yeah.
not even.
I don't. Not.
Great.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
I mean,
That's fine.
like
I force you to like
Toy
things.
Story. I don't know, like cartoon, like
Toy Story.
Story.
Toy Story's a franchise.
I feel like
Yeah, yeah.
Pixar movies.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a
Yeah.
franchise, would be one.
I would say Toy
Yeah.
Story should be on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're all great.
But I think I'm just not really a franchise.
Once you've seen
Girly.
the characters. Not a franchise girly.
Oh, great. There
girly.
goes my merch.
Put it on a wine class. Not a
In the
franchise
script
girly.
font and everything on a
Exactly.
sash for a bachelorette party that attends one-off movies.
Yes. Yeah.
We're only here for Dune 1.
That's right.
I guess Dune is a franchise. We're here to see Civil War. My bachelorette party went to see Civil War. Okay, next question. Next question. Have you ever walked out of a movie? And if so, which one? If not, a time you were close.
Okay. It feels like you don't watch stuff that you don't like. You probably wouldn't like at first glance, I'd imagine. I'm trying to get my logic based on the list of movies that you were like, I've never seen these. I'm trying to think of like, I mean, I bet there's like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, what would you walked out of? A movie's expensive.
It's expensive.
I'm gonna say you've never walked out of one.
I have walked out of one, but I'm like blanking. This is so dumb, but I have to go. It's a very famous movie, but I'm like, I'm blanking. I walked out of it when I was in high school. I think I just didn't understand the, hold on.
I can look at it.
It's a George Clooney, like,
Michael Clayton.
no, like, oh, brother,
Brother,
where art
Art
thou?
Thou?
Oh, brother,
yeah.
where art thou?
Which is straight. I know. It's I watched it later in life and
you were
loved it, but
yeah.
I don't remember. I think I was just like,
I was getting a little defensive there. I'm sorry.
you guys,
love
you
that
guys
movie.
are really coming at me, and I don't.
You'd have to
No,
be in
why?
the right. I can imagine in high school if you weren't like in the mood for even what the fuck. Is
Also, could have
this?
been a good title for Magic Mike 2.
Yes.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
When they all try and go find him to get him.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I could
that's
see
the
that.
only movie I can remember walking out of, and it's a strange one because
Do you
it's
remember
like,
your why? Just was like, I'm not
I think
feeling
I was
this
just
right
like,
now.
this is boring.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
I don't really know.
Incredible.
I walked out of a Queen Latifah Steve Martin movie that I can't remember the name of. Steve Martin, Queen Latifah was like pretending to be his maid or something for some reason. It was very bad. And
I feel like I
Taxi?
vaguely remember that.
That's Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon.
Yeah.
it's like something house. I don't know, whatever. I remember walking out of it being like, that was.
Steve Martin makes a lot of movies in this like latter part of his career where he doesn't really leave a house that he lives in.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
just put
Yes.
more kids in here. I'm not. It's just the rule is he has to shoot at his house.
Exactly.
He's not leaving. You could put as many kids and their kids in there as you want, and then record.
It's a agoraphobic actor.
Yeah,
Last
he's so
question for
tired.
first time guessing game. What movie have you seen the most?
Oh, okay.
Brandy, any guesses?
Clueless is your favorite. I bet it's
That
Clueless.
is that
yeah.
is Clueless.
It's
It is
Clueless?
Yeah.
Or Clueless or The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect films.
Perfect films.
Clueless is perfect. I love that movie.
I have not. Have I seen The Breakfast Club? I have seen The Breakfast Club.
Oh,
You know those things that
yeah,
go
yeah.
around on Instagram where it's like circle stuff you like?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for those. I'll
Yes.
circle. I love circling little things. I always try and, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where
Yeah.
they're like circle the stuff. That's
Oh,
like
like
my
pick your
five favorite
five
movies from the
favorites.
80s or something.
Stacey's
I'll always
been
make the
too.
background this one picture of September 11th I have saved on my phone. And because you can barely see like a thin edge of the background, so it's just like I have two, but no one's
Yeah.
ever said anything about it, and I'll make it that. I just love circling stuff. I'll participate. I mean, if I was born a generation earlier, I'd be forwarding emails. This is
Yes.
where my level
Yeah.
is. I don't like the
Yeah,
internet.
yeah.
I don't like being on there.
Yeah.
If I'm on there, I'm going to participate in your. I won't do the ones that are like upload a photo of you. It feels like they're training computers.
For sure.
But I'll always
yeah.
do the one that's like circle your 5 favorite hats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very like Facebook mom activity.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it gets a bunch of people to watch your story, and then you promote a show, and they all quit watching.
Exactly.
Then you're like, hey, my life's work is coming up. Oh, 6 people saw this,
Yeah.
and one of them was this
Boring.
podcast's account watching my story.
it was just me.
It was
watching
me,
from
right?
my other account.
Ooh, somebody hearted it. It was me. Great.
I did one was the 80s movies, I think, and I circled 5, and I didn't circle The Breakfast Club, and people got really, really mad. And I was like, I'd only seen 6 of like the 20 movies, and The Breakfast Club was the one I'd seen I didn't circle. I do like it,
Yeah, yeah. No, it's good.
but I think I bumped it off because I just watched Back to the Future for the first time like last year or a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Also a good movie.
Nice.
Good movie.
Love The Breakfast Club.
But a franchise.
Now there's
so.
that Brat Pack
franchise.
documentary coming out. People are all, where they're talking to the Brat Pack about it.
Wow. I didn't
You know how there's
that.
a documentary about everything that's ever happened? They got
Yes.
around to the Brat Pack.
Well, thank God.
I would
Thank God
watch
for
I
that.
would watch that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they got everybody in it.
Yeah,
At least
that's
everyone
good.
who's around and available. And
I like
it's
that.
like, I don't know. I think we're all a little too young for that to have been in like our wheelhouse of stuff, the Brat Pack. But it's interesting to be like, we formulated a group before the internet, like a big with a nickname and like. It's just a totally I can't think of anything like that now unless you're like the kids from Euphoria.
Yeah.
But that was a show that came out and they all just happen to be talented and like keep at it. But this is sort of like a era. I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
No,
the Harry Potter cast.
Yeah,
These are once again
that's
movies
kind
of
of-
things
yeah.
that are the same age.
Well, because it's like there were like the Leo Dio's crew of
What's that?
rapscallions. Leonardo DiCaprio's
Oh.
like Pussy Posse.
Leo
Oh, yeah.
Dio is
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, yeah.
I love the sound of that.
Leo Dio. I've never heard that. I like that. Yeah.
Leo Dio's Pussy Posse.
Pussy Posse.
Yeah. That's
All
his
the-
group.
Was that everyone who was in
Toby-
Romeo and Juliet?
Probably. It's like Toby Maguire's in it. Like a bunch of his.
Oh, I thought you meant like the women that he rounds up to pick to.
No,
because
it's
see,
like
that's
the
what-
dudes that all.
The
That's
dudes
the-
that,
yeah.
the dudes
that
that all
is-
do
yeah.
that together.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
from every
yeah.
generation,
Yeah.
actually, because
Yeah.
it's the same age.
Yeah.
That's a real Mr. Dallas situation
Yes,
right
it
there.
is. Yes, it is.
I guess that's close, but he's even still just right on the cusp of the internet.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't really do it anymore because maybe there is. Honestly, there's probably something we don't know about. We're not the age of people. There's probably like, what is it called? The Charlie D'Amelio. This dude, I'm so old.
Well, you know what it is.
Charlie
Oh, the, like,
D'Amelio
TikTok.
and like the TikTok people.
Yes,
That's probably
I
like
think
a
that's what
generation
it
of
is.
something.
Yeah. That's
the
more of
TikTok
it is.
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the people that are in charge of like the ad campaigns for like because the Stranger Things kids, it's like they're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
push that because then you're promoting the product, and that's become.
I'm excited
more
for the
of a
next
thing.
season of
They
Stranger
just-
Things where they're all
yeah.
like 42.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
It's just-
good.
We got to stop putting this much distance between seasons of television. I like the
Right.
new House of the Dragon is coming out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do remember loving this show, but I think it was before COVID. I'm like, when did this show come even out? And now there's going to be like 6 episodes, and then we'll wait 5 more years for 6 more
Yeah.
episodes, and everyone in the cast will be 80.
I-
But the dragons will have died of natural causes by the time the show comes out.
I just got so burned by Game of Thrones that I was like, you're gonna need to stick the landing on anything else before I. touch
Oh,
you.
House of the Dragon is so good though.
Is it? Okay.
The first season is so good. The
Okay.
last season of Game of Thrones is so upsetting.
Broke my fucking heart.
It made me not watch the other show those guys made that people were talking about on Netflix.
Yeah.
I haven't
can't
seen it.
remember
I
the
should
name.
have put that on my list.
Game of Thrones? That's all right.
That's all right.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
fine.
It's
a
hard
lot.
for me to
It's a
tell
lot.
someone you need to commit 108 hours to something I
Yeah.
didn't like
We
the
need,
last
like,
12 hours
We
of.
need
It's
another
brutal.
pandemic for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on it.
Yeah, actively working on
You
it.
hear me cough a second ago?
Yeah.
I'm working on it. There's a bird in
This
here.
is something new. Yeah.
I saw a guy on Twitter today that was like, if you got long COVID, nicotine patches. That's the solution. I was like, what?
What?
Be right.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have a
I
hard
don't want
time.
to spread any information. I don't know, but it was a
I
guy
have a
that
hard
was
time
like
believing
really
there's
like
misinformation on
fucking
Twitter.
Pop those nicotine patches on, and I was like, I think you're withdrawing from cigarettes. And the patches are making you feel good.
I think you're just
Yeah, your
taking
lungs are
care of
healthy for the
yourself.
first
I think
time in
you're just getting
40
healthy.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. But okay.
I think
Wow.
you're taking care of the respiratory. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if everyone starts coughing, just start
Loading
loading up.
hopping them on.
I prepared one more game I want to play here today.
Yes.
This game is called What's in the Boxed. I think I do have a song for this one.
What's in the box?
Who's in the box? What's in the box?
Have you seen Seven?
Who's in the box?
Yeah. Traumatized me.
What's in the fucking box?
That's probably the most one-time watch movie that I've seen 10 times.
That is
Yeah. Yes.
definitely a one-time watch.
Where you-
Yeah.
but I'm like, I'll rewatch that. Not
If
as
it's
much now,
on.
not trying to shoot residuals towards everyone in that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cast that turned out to be a bunch of fucking monsters, huh?
yeah, Morgan Freeman, Jesus. I don't know about the other 3, but Morgan Freeman. So this game's called What's in the Boxed. How it works is I looked on Letterboxd at movies that have come out this calendar year so far. I will read you a review. You have to tell me what movie it is. So how the structure works is I have 5 reviews. It gets more obvious which one it is, but you're only allowed to guess once.
Okay.
So if you guess after one review and you're wrong, you're out.
Okay.
The earlier you guess, the more points you get.
Okay. What's been out this year? Let me think. Okay.
Yeah, I
got
feel like I haven't
It was.
seen any
I looked up
movies
the
this
top box office movies of this year, and I'm like, is it fucking COVID?
Yeah, I know.
year. Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I think the Bad Boys movie is about to be like second for the whole calendar year behind Dune 2. None of these are Dune. But it's like that's how little money movies have made this year.
Yeah.
It's Dune by like a mile.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Dune is made like average for a blockbuster.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And then there's nothing else. I hadn't heard of like some of the a Transformers movie apparently came out.
What?
I hadn't heard a lot of what was going on here.
Is this is just in the theaters,
This is
right?
2024
This is
this is
Okay.
2024
Theatrical
movies.
not- Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
I would say I don't know if these were all theaters, but these are all movies you know.
Okay.
It's not like a
Yeah.
thumbnail from the back of Netflix for a short film.
Got it. Okay.
Here we go. So movie 1, here's the first review. It's honestly unreasonable how much this rocks. 5 stars. You don't have to guess. You can hold off for the more obvious ones. Air conditioning broke in my damn theater, so I guess I bought a 4DX showing because my ass was sweating like a motherfucking desert. 4.5 stars.
Ooh. Furiosa.
It is Furiosa.
Oh my God.
That's a 4-point guess.
Impressive.
Thank you.
I don't even write the points down, but good job. I don't know what
I'm
I'm
just gonna win.
I'm going to count them.
Yeah, you're gonna write it down. Number 4. Here's the other reviews for Furiosa that get more and more obvious. That's right, all the boys are here. Scrotus, Toe Jam, Chum Bucket, and of course Piss Boy. 4 stars. And then
stars.
never seen anyone act so nonchalant after getting their nipples ripped off. 5 stars. And well, it's no Happy Feet 2, but he did okay. 4 stars.
Nice.
It's just incredible. George Miller, what an incredible
Yeah.
like director. Just Babe and all of those, Happy Feet and all of those, and Mad Max.
I love it. The worlds he's built.
I know,
great.
it's incredible.
I saw Fury Road in theaters gave me a panic attack. I've never had that experience in a movie
Really?
before, but watching that movie, there's like that one moment of silence halfway through, and my palms were just sweating.
Yeah.
And then walking out of the theater afterwards, I was like, "Am I about to start crying? What is happening?" I love watching it on TV because I can get up and
That
walk
was
away.
that was me,
but-
Babe, 2 Pig in the City. I was like, when he finds out about how rent is in the city, it's gonna be awful. I gotta get out of this theater. I'm just drenched in sweat.
Yeah.
I'm baking in here. Okay. All right, here's movie number 2. This is a movie that came out in 2024.
Okay.
First review. Wow, that was shit. 2 stars.
Could be so many things.
Second review. There's literally a Tinder and Bumble ad 10 minutes into this movie. 2.5 stars. Third review. The amount of effort I put into clearing out my email is the same amount of effort this guy puts into voice acting. None.
Oh, so probably a cartoon or a 3D of some kind. Because a Roger Rabbit type movie did not come out this year. So probably, what cartoons came out this year?
For 2 points.
Okay.
If this ever happens to Calvin and Hobbes, I will be on the news.
Garfield.
It is the Garfield movie.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm obsessed with the review. If this ever happens to Calvin and Hobbes, I'll be on the news.
That is a good one.
It was really great.
And then the last one was, this movie reminds me of Mondays. It's a thing I really fucking hate, like the Garfield movie. I don't understand. Chris Pratt keeps not doing an Italian accent, playing things, and then making fun of Italian food. He like was the Mario.
Yeah.
And then in Garfield, he did no accent, and then spent a whole press junket talking about how he doesn't like lasagna.
He sucks.
It's such an odd thing
Yeah.
to do.
worst Chris.
Yeah.
By
yeah,
far.
The worst Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
This Chris beat me up on the bus, but it's close.
Yeah.
All right. Last movie came out this year. 5 points. What is this a review of? I don't think there's a... Sorry, I got my brightness too low. I don't think there is a dumber, broader, more satirical, baffling, pop art, brightly lit, straight up stupid movie out there than this. It's so dumb. I love it. 4.5 stars.
I don't know, but I'm intrigued.
For 4 points. I'm in the 15 to 70 age bracket, so this wasn't for me. One star.
Okay.
Next one. The Right Stuff parody fair use boomer fetish art film.
Unfrosted.
It is unfrosted. That's insane.
I saw it.
You did?
Yeah.
Was
I did,
it-
first I brought people over to watch it.
Did boomer fetish art make you like know that it was unfrosted?
Yes. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Jerry Seinfeld hates people.
And this is the last
He
two
is
reviews.
a bad
So great
man.
to see an
It's so
anti-woke
bad.
comedy in 2024. I was struggling to stay woke for most of the runtime. And you couldn't even make this movie today.
That's an amazing review.
A perfect review. God, it's awful. It's truly. It's hateful.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's been the exact. It's crazy
really
to see the
crazy.
line where people like us who do comedy will stop saying, "Well, it's good to give a bunch of people work."
Yeah.
This would seem to be the line because like a bunch of
Yeah.
comedians everyone loves in the movie, and I've seen people being like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Yeah.
Like usually when there's a bad movie, everyone's like, "Hey, at least so and so is getting some work, and at least it's nice to see some blah blah blah." And everyone's just like, "What are we doing?"
Like, I'm glad they got a paycheck, but
Yeah.
man, Jerry Seinfeld's a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit. When I didn't realize it until I watched his comedians in Cars. I was like, this guy is not a good guy.
No.
He's
I
an
watched
asshole.
his
Yeah, he's a
comedians in
real
Cars with
asshole.
Bridget Everett because I love her so much.
She's amazing.
And I was like, I remember thinking like, oh, I didn't really watch that show, but I'm like, oh, it's so cool she's on this. This is
Yeah.
like a huge
Yeah.
thing.
Totally.
And then he's just mean about Bobcat Goldthwait to her the whole time. And she's like, he's one of my best friends. And Seinfeld's like, nah, I hate him. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, this is the edit you put out?
Yeah.
Like being mean about her friend?
He's trash.
He's
It's
so
so
awful.
crazy.
And he loves himself so much.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that on the set of Unfrosted, because he directed it, if you had like
Jerry Seinfeld directed Unfrosted.
he wrote, directed, and stars in it.
Wow, a real triple threat.
Yeah.
It's that he'll make movies and talk to underage girls are two of the threats.
yeah.
And the third one is he threatens comedy.
Absolutely. But if he gave you a note and you pushed back at it at all because you were like, I want to try a different way, he'd be like, have you made $200 million as a television comedian? I don't think so.
Ew.
Like that, he
Yeah.
would throw his money in your face, and it's like,
That checks out.
yeah, man,
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so insane. Do you know who seems
Yeah.
to let everyone do what they want because he finds them funny? Larry David.
David.
He's like,
The
maybe
man-
I'll let this. He was so cool with funny people that JB Smoove joined the show, and Larry David was cool with being in the show less.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, someone funnier than me is around. I should let them be funny.
Yeah.
I'll let someone funny be in the show if they're married to RFK.
Seriously.
That's how little I care about what people like. I'll let people be funny.
I just care about people being funny.
Turns out
Yeah.
it's that worm.
Yeah.
Brainworms.
The restraint that Larry David must have shown in not putting a brain worm into a plot.
Well, he doesn't let
hurts.
little things bother him.
Yes.
I wonder if there's takes where he's just like, sorry, it's the worm in my brain. Cheryl, I'm so sorry.
Cheryl's
It's
like,
just,
please,
I riffed it.
Yeah, please cut that.
There is this. We got to get out of here. There was this clip of Larry David on like Jimmy Kimmel that I saw where I think it's pretty recent, maybe because Curb was ending, and Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Hey, you're supposed to be my guest after the Oscars, but your friend died, so you canceled. But then I saw you at an Oscars party," and Larry David was like, "What do you want me to say? I used my friend's death to get out of doing a show I don't like." Like just said it to Jimmy Kimmel's fucking face. And he's like, I feel like my friend would have been fine with it. Dude, I love you.
That's amazing.
Oh, he's
okay.
so
That's
good.
amazing.
Leah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Thank you for
having
having
me.
never seen Magic Mike.
You're welcome.
Mr.
It's going to change tonight.
Please let everyone know where to find you. Anything you would like for them to check out.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Leah_Rudick. I'm also on TikTok at Leah Rudick. And I have a comedy special that came out recently called Spiraling on Apple TV and Amazon.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much. Brandie, thank you for being here and being our Magic Mike expert.
Yeah. Literally any time. I will talk.
If there's any, if you have anywhere where they can find you with French Stewart, please let them know.
Yeah, Lady to Ladies, the podcast. Every 100 episodes, we have French Stewart on. We have lots of great guests like Leah on like other episodes
If
of
you
it as
can
well.
do the math, you might be able to run into them in Vegas.
Yeah,
You
you can figure it out. The last weekend in
stalk your
July,
way
we'll
there.
be there. Let us know. It's gonna be real silly. Yeah, Lady to Lady. I run a comedy record label called Burn This Records, so find me and all my releases there. And Brandazzle on all the Twitters and Instagrams and whatnot.
Thank you. Thank you both very much. Everyone have a wonderful day.
I've never seen it.